Hello everyone, if you're here. It is not quite 7 o'clock. We're going to try this. I'm fussy cutting something right now for part of the demonstration toward the end. It's not the card exactly that I'm making. I've made a card. I've made this, but I wanted to show you some extra gilded leafing techniques. So I'm gonna cut this little hummingbird out. Fussy cut him, it's called. Get him done. And I have cramp in my hand. I'm pretty sure I have carpal tunnel syndrome. Not diagnosed, but I'm diagnosing it. Okay, let's finish him. Trying to get my when I'm on, this is my business page, and I have not been able to load maybe I have got it now. Anyway, I'm trying to look at it on my iPad as well, because I don't see comments for some reason. So we'll keep working here, and I'll cut this little butterfly out, and it is probably about 7, close to it. So if I have anyone here, I'm going to put this butterfly right on this card later, but not right now, I think. We'll probably color the tips of his wings so they don't stand out white. I didn't do that earlier. I didn't color him far enough out. So let me get that done real quick. Okay. That's done, and he looks like that. And I'm not a good fussy cutter, and I don't like to fussy cut a whole lot. It's not something that makes me feel calmer. So that's pretty close. That's close enough, I think. Okay. We should start, I think. Oh, my hand. It is a hurtin'. Really hurtin'. I do have a doctor's appointment next month to physical, so we'll see. Okay, here we are. This was going to be here. The little hummingbird, I'll put him back here. Now, the cardstock that I'm using for this project is gonna be Melon Mambo, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. The layer piece is basic black, 3.5 by 4 3/4. And the focal piece I did on shimmer white, because I'm going to use my blending pins, and that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And then we're going to try a sentiment strip that is 4 1/2 by 1/2. So what I'm trying to show you tonight is the Gilded Leafing, and it's in the new mini catalog, and it's on page 33 for purchase. Page 32 and 33 is the Fine Art Floral Suite, and 34. So those 3 pages have all of these products and projects in here that are using these projects. So there's a beautiful ribbon, and there's the Gilded Leafing. There's some acetate, designer series specialty acetate. There is the designer series paper. And we need the heat and stick powder, which is a Stampin' Up! Used to have it because I have it in their old, and I've only been a demonstrator this cracked for since March of 2017. So I may have gotten this before I became a demonstrator. I'm not sure, but I haven't been using Stampin' Up! That long. I'm sure it doesn't go back too far back. But this is the new heat stick powder. It should be the exact same, and I'm going to use this just to make sure for this project that I know it's fresh, just in case. That's a just in case thing. So let's get going with this. No more talk about anything right now. Let's just see if I can put this project together and make it nice. So I'm going to stamp. We're going to do our stamping, and then we'll do our layering. So I'm basically going to take from the I'm using the A Touch of Ink. I wanted to use the fluttering I don't have that stamp set that is in maybe in the annual catalog. I'm not real sure. I have to look it up, but I'm not sure. I just know that this was what I won during the virtual on stage. This was what they called a pop-up prize. So I want to use that, and that's where my little hummingbird came from. And then I'm going to use a butterfly and some background. I'm not going to use the two-step process, as I didn't do that with the hummingbird. I didn't fill it in. I colored it with blender pens. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to use, I'm using quite a few inks. Granny Apple Green, I'm going to use for my leaves. I'm not going to use the stamp pad. I'm going to use Memento ink because I will use the blender pens. So I'm going to sporadically place background leaves, and just a second, I kind of got a mess here. I'll show you. The leafing is in here, and I have another tub of it coming, but when you open it, it like expands when the air gets to it. So my advice is to work in a deep container because it flies around really easy. That way you can put your card down in it, and you'll kind of see how that works. So here we go. Let's put a leaf or two around. Oh, I need to get closer to my project maybe. Let's do this. And it's random because I'm going to put some other leaves as well. I would say just stamp off here. Let me get a piece of scratch paper to stamp off on. This is the Stamparatus sheets, and oops, they come in handy. I'm not using the Stamparatus, and I probably should have, but it's just easier right now for me to do this. Let's put another one right here. So let's bring these leaves, and I think my Memento pad is inked really heavy in a couple of spots, and it needs re-inking. I've used this. This was the first one I ever got, so I've re-inked it quite a few times. Oops, because I've used it a lot. Okay. Hope everyone has had a nice weekend. We had rain up to Friday. We had freezing cold yesterday and today, but no rain. This is taking too much time for me. Okay, let's see what we have here. Maybe if I press it this way. Okay. It just seems like it's missing in the middle. And I think that's probably, I'm not gonna fill the card. I mean, because I want it to be, I'm gonna put butterfly on it, so I don't want to massacre it with all these leaves and ink, I think. And I'm trying to avoid, of course, the little leaves. So I'm pretty sure I'm done with that. Let's see. This is a I must leave room for the butterfly. Okay. So let's get our butterfly stamped. And there again, that is a two-step process, but I am not using the two-step process. The fill-in stamp, you would use the color, whatever color you would want, but I'm gonna color this in. I'm thinking I should fussy cut him. I should put him on a piece of, and like I said, this is shimmer white, because then I can put him on dimensionals. And trust me, I haven't made a card yet, so this is on the fly, off the cuff, whatever the terminology is. Okay, so we've got most of our stamping done. The sentiment strip I'm gonna gild, so I have no idea if that will look right, so we'll have to see. So let's get these leaves colored in first, and I'm gonna use my dark Granny Apple to do the highlighting, and I went outside the line. But we do have a erase pen for the blenders, and it kind of bleaches or takes that away when you go out of the lines. You don't press down hard at all. That can tend to make it run, and just give it a nice, kind of a nice light touch without the shakes. Now, I used to love to color, but I've gotten really old, and I don't think I'm as steady. I was going to say to you guys, in this instance, I would normally turn this in this direction, so I got a better handle on it, instead of doing them upside down, but turning and turning and turning. Okay, so let's fill them in. This was the dark Granny Apple Green, and this is the light Granny Apple Green. I don't think I shouldn't use the brush. Let's use the brush on the larger leaves. The brush end, there's a pin in and a brush in, basically for you to get small spaces and detail lining or what have you, and shadowing. And then the brush covers larger area a little easier. And you don't need to bear down at all. It rolls off the brush. It comes right out of the inkwell that's in the middle of the pen. And these are available by the each. And Stampin' Up! Did sell them, used to sell them by, I got a mess here on my, they used to sell them by the set, light and dark. And there are still some, I believe, in the clearance rack. They're colors that are not, I'm not sure if they're current colors. I haven't looked. But there are still some you can get on the clearance rack by the each. And I'm not sure. I think you can get a package if they have not sold out. Okay, so there we have our leaves done. And the next thing I want to do is I had ink on my hand, so I want to really get a baby wipe and get that off and get it off of here as well. Okay. Now, let's color this butterfly. And I think this is going to be my, it's landscape, and I have out Pumpkin Pie Light and Dark. I have Daffodil Delight Light and Dark, and I have Flirty Flamingo. I'm not sure how these will look, but I'm going to go with some Daffodil Delight. And to me, it looks orangey rather than yellowy, but now you could also watercolor these. We have water pens that you could put some ink from the ink pad on your block, or you could squeeze the ink pad and get some ink in the middle right here, and you could use those water pens and color it. It's hard to get the ink in the middle, so it's a lot easier to tap an ink block on it. Tap a stamp block on it. And let's go with some dark Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to kind of mix all these colors, and I know these are not good colors. This is probably not correct. There's no Melon Mambo, and I kind of wanted to bring in a little bit of some pinkish or fuchsia. I don't think there's Melon Mambo pen, no. Alcohol markers. If there is, I don't have them. So, I'm going to look at something here. Comments are on. Okay, so there we go. Let's do a little Pumpkin Pie Light. Go a little different contrast. I'd hurry and get it colored so I can cut it out. My pumpkin pie brush, this is what I mean by don't bear down too hard. My pen's, it still feels wet, but I believe it's getting close to the run out where I'll need to buy a new one. I'm going to do his body this way. I know that's not typical either, but now I want to run over this with light Flirty Flamingo and sort of blend it a little bit more. Okay. I'm not. So let's cut this little guy out. And I really don't like cutting them. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to edge it. I learned this from a couple of gentlemen stampers, Jay and Barry. a long time ago watching one of their videos. I'm going to outline him here. So when I cut him out, he'll still have a bit of a border. In other words, I'm making it a little, and this is light mossy meadow. It just gives a little more, these little legs are hard to cut, I'm pretty sure. But no, if I go way out there, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be cutting through it. But I'll cut through some of that so that we don't have a lot of white borders. Now sometimes you can, if they have punches or if they have dies, they might leave a little border. But by the same token, that makes it, you could still outline it with something. And green was the only thing I've seen done, so that's therefore why I did that. I don't want to break his poor feet off here, so sorry. I could have done this ahead of time, but I got a little bit busy with doing a few things, and I still haven't organized my decorations. The tree's still standing on its table. It's undecorated. It's not decorated any longer, but it's on the table, and it just needs to be taken apart and put in its storage box and put into our storage. And a few other little things. I hadn't taken my nativity down yet, so I have to get all that done. But I didn't do very much today. I came home from church and kind of checked all my mails and worked on a couple of other little things that I had to do. And tomorrow is wash day, and I'll be doing that tomorrow. Now, those of you that really know how to fussy cut well, I don't. You're supposed to, run your scissors and turn your paper the direction you want to go and follow that pattern. And like I said, drawing that green line on the outer edge really makes it easier to do. It really does. And I'm sorry, I should have done this ahead of time, like I said, but I didn't. So, well, goodness, I thought I cut far enough into that. All I need to do is tear it in front of God and country. Okay. And I had my eye injection this past Tuesday, and it went fairly well. This time, I had it last week. Sorry, I had it last week. It wasn't as bad. It hurt a little afterwards, burning and stinging, but when the numbing drops wear off, it can be just feels like sandpaper's in it, but the actual penetration of the needle was not as bad this time, so I must have had more numbing drops than the last couple of times. Okay, now we have the butterfly, and I think I'll probably put him right here. So what we want to do is we want to take our it's an embossing powder a buddy that goes along with, to make sure no static stays on your cardstock that you're planning to work. And I don't know if the gilded, I don't know. I don't think you have to do it with the gilding, but it just became a habit of mine. So we're going to use Versamark, and I have taken a stamp from, this is all, most all of this is the Touch of Ink is a Celebration stamp set for a $100 purchase, and it is a beautiful stamp set. Approaching Perfection is free for $50, and there's quite a few birthday. I am making a card tomorrow that I'll post on Instagram with this stamp set and a little different technique. So here we go. We're going to say, so what if you're a year older? You're fabulous. Maybe that doesn't go with the butterfly, but I just did it. So this strip is going to fit perfectly right across our paper on the lower side. So I'm going to put this in the center, if I can do that. I hope my head's not in here, because it's not as easy to do. Okay, so now, so what if you're a year older? You're fabulous. It's probably not going to look real good there, so let's go on the other side. That's why we have two sides of cardstock for little mistakes. And I'm not going to put the embossing buddy on this one, because I don't think that has the effect. Okay, I probably messed up there. I sure did. It's okay, we're going to go with it. Now, watch the magic. The magic. I'm going to open my little box, and I hope it is not too close. Don't breathe. Do not breathe. No, you don't. I don't want to do that yet. I have to heat emboss. Sorry. I was about to make a big mistake. Now, we have the Versamark. The heat emboss is imperative, because that leaves a tacky for your gilding to stick to. Oh, it's not too bad. So I'm going to quickly go over and heat emboss. I'll cover this up and put this to the side so that we can do the gilding. And then I'll show you the other card. It's almost done, but it's going to have gilding as well. So I'll be able to show you. Now, there's something you need to know if you don't already know this. When you use your heat gun on the heat and stick powder, you want it to just, it gets hot pretty quick. I mean, it melts pretty quick. It's quicker than if you were using gold or silver or white or any other color embossing powder. Okay, now we're going to watch the magic. I don't know if you can see, but there there it is. Now, we're going to put it down in here, and I'm going to turn it. Well, this side might get gilding on it too, but I doubt it, because I didn't. And I'm just going to press it down a bit in this gilding, and then kind of rub it. They expanded to really big pieces. So now this is why a deep container is a lot better. Now you're also going to need, I mean, this is the only way I know how to do it. You're also going to need a brush. I have an old Bare Essentials ID Precision Eye brush that I'm going to use. I'm going to use this side first, and you just brush. You simply just brush until you get that gilding off all around it. And this might not work, so because I did test it. It was an idea I had, and you know, you want to try and keep all your flakes because they're usable again. So I'm using the stiffer side of it now, and I think this is probably not a good working way to do it. I think you need bigger letters for this to really be effective with the gilding. But this is how you do the gilding. And I'll show you, when I put this card together, I'll show you, yeah, this, it's not advisable to use a small stamp. I haven't, so what, it says, I have not tried to research either, so that might be something to do. But if you have larger letters, this would work fine to gild it. But basically, this is what we have, and it's not as bad as I thought. I don't think I should use a toothbrush. It's a soft toothbrush, but I don't think that's the ideal thing. The gilding will stay with that heat and stick powder where it went, but there again, I think that's too small. The letters are too small. So here you go. It's not a good job. Oops, I breathed into that. Just breathe. Mercy, you can't, oh, you just can't do that. So, can you see that? Okay, I'm gonna put it back on for now, the lid, because that would be everywhere. And we'll just I'll put this card together, and I think, you know, at some point I have other ideas to do with it. So let's go with our liquid adhesive. I think you could use the Stampin' Seal Plus, but I'm going to use liquid adhesive. I find it's easier for me if I'm doing several projects to use the liquid adhesive. And there's a big border on here because this piece was 3.5 by 4 3/4, so on a 5.5 by 4 1/4. So that leaves a nice border. Okay, and no, I'm not going to put, I was going to put this on dimensionals, but I'm not now because I have a smudge here. And I saw that earlier, right away when I was stamping. This is a mono eraser. It's like a sand eraser. And if you have not too much to remove, it works nicely to get, sometimes it's not, you know, like it's, okay, so let's put some liquid on this. I was gonna mount it on dimensionals, but I decided I don't want to do that. I'm gonna just hurry and get this over with because it wasn't a real good job. Now, I can still give this card to someone. They won't know that I've made a huge mistake on it. Okay, where's my, here it is. This is going to go here. And this butterfly is going to mount here, I believe. And I'm not going to put any ribbon or anything on it because I think the gilding, I mean, and the color in the butterfly, I think we're good without doing anything else. At this, I have a couple of other ideas to take off of from this to do. But, so let's put, don't want to cover my leaves up, too much of them. So we'll do that. Now, I think Mr. Butterfly I will put on dimensionals. And maybe I'll use my take your pick tool and put some tiny dimensionals. Do it this way. I didn't get that black ink off my finger very well. I think these smaller ones work okay. Yeah, that's good, I think. It's a lot of dimensionals. But the backing didn't, when this came off the paper, this one, the backing didn't come off it. It came all off the paper with the backing from the dimensional board on it still. And that does happen. Okay, torture. Alrighty. Okay, that's done. Let's put this Tombow away. Let's place our butterfly. And I think I was about to put him wrong, so I think here is probably good. Okay, he's down, and we have these new matte black dots that are in the mini catalog. They are, I think, all one size, and I don't remember what they come with. Yeah, they're two sizes. Yeah, they're two sizes. So let's put clear off a little bit here. This take your pick tool is really good for this. I'm gonna just put a few around. I think I need a refill in here. They come with refills, I believe, if I remember correctly. We'll just fill in kind of some of this blank space. They always say don't use an even number when you're placing embellishments. So, okay, I think that will be it and good enough for now. Let's see, what we might want to do is a little wink of Stella on this butterfly that will give it, let's see, I think this is a newer pen. My Wink of Stellas need to be replaced. Or more Wink of Stella, they need to be replaced. Yeah, this seems kind of dry. I mean, yeah, it's kind of dry. I used a lot of Wink of Stella at Christmas time. So, on Christmas cards. This one's kind of moist right away. But feels like it's not good either, but there is. Oh, that Wink of Stella brings out some of the shading that's on here. Okay, I think that's good enough. That's that card. So now let's move on to one that I've already got it partially done. And these are some other ways that you can use your, and this, you don't need the heat embossed powder, and you don't, so you don't need any of that. I'm going to put that away right now so we don't have a mess with it. Oops, I'm about to have a mess anyway. And I'll tell you, when you use emboss powder, if you use these little things, they're excellent. They're Swiffers. They just fit on that Swiffer deal that you dust with. They pick up all your stuff, your glitter and your embossing powder that might have overflowed, and they dust. So, and it lasts quite a while actually. Okay, I don't want. Okay, I may have to clean that a little bit later. Because like I said, it's a sticky item when it gets hot, not until it gets hot. Okay, now, here we go. The other card, since I had the other half of my Melon Mambo, I don't need that. And I've cut my little bird out. So here is some other ways to use your Gilded Leafing. I have put 2 black dimensionals on here. So you can kind of guess they're sticky. And I've run some, and I tore the paper here. So I've run some crooked and not well, some Seal Plus on here. And then I took my liquid adhesive and I wrote hi and a line under it. Now, I didn't do that very well, but I just wanted you to get an idea of some other things you can do. You also could use your mask, your decorative mask. You could put a mask down on, and you Versamark over that mask. Thinking, yeah, you Versamark over that mask because you can clean it off, and then you remove the mask from your cardstock, and you've got these little holes in the mask, and you remove, just so you know, I didn't do it, but I know you can. I would use a mask, of course, that's not hugely with a lot of openings, but here's polka dots. That would look nice. You could you Versamark over this with the pad on your cardstock. Then you take this away, and you have the sticky area that you pour your heat emboss powder on, and then you put it in the gilding box. That would be, I think that would be too much. I mean, you don't want to use all of your stuff. I thought I had another thing here that would look better, but I guess not on these basic. It's a basic pattern thing. Nope, I don't. There's just this. Oh, there's one here stuck to. Oh, I'm not sure what. Oh, it's stuck. Okay. I need to turn the paper around. Okay, so there's this one, and I don't think this would be a very good one as is either. Whoops! Don't. So anyway, that's an idea. You know what you can do there. So I'll rub them out of the way, and we're gonna put this down in here, and you're gonna get to see the magic here. I hope it's magic. No breathing. No breathing now. Remember that. If you have that, your face close to that thing, to me, it's easier to do it this way. Now, because the gilding sticks. See that? It's everywhere, but you want to make sure you've got it on all the, on all your sticky. You don't want to leave any sticky spots. And there again, it's so light. It's lighter than a feather, really and truly. So we're going to take our brush again, And oh my goodness, that is a lot. This was kind of an experiment, so oops. So we get it off my hands and get that brush again. I'm going to use the stiffer side of the makeup brush. I must have had some Seal Plus that came off on right here. I thought I remembered seeing something there. It's not supposed to be there, but it's okay. So can you see what I'm doing here? Okay, this was the word written, the high, and it was supposed to have like a little heart dotting the I, but you know, I didn't do a good job of writing. But there again, you get the idea, I think, probably, of, boy, that's some messy stuff. And it's beautiful on the dimensionals. It really is. And like I said, it's not the best, but it's sticking to, this is the liquid adhesive, and you know it turns tacky. You have to wait until it's shiny. If you're going to use liquid adhesive, say you wanted to dot or do anything to use the gilding, you have to wait till your liquid adhesive has set up and become shiny to use it. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Oops. And these were just lines, so, and they weren't perfect lines, so it's not, you know, you would probably want to, I'm thinking you could use your Stampin' Seal Plus, you could use any kind of tape runner, or you could use, if you didn't want to, see I tore my paper there anyway, but when I was putting the Seal Plus on, the other seal would work. I don't use it for hardly anything, but it would work good and go down easier, probably. Numerous, anything that, so there again, you could stamp, you know, you would stamp an image, and I did show the cards that I did with the Floral Art Gallery that were my swap cards. So, okay, so that's about good enough there. I mean, it's not the best, but then you want to, now there was probably some little bit of tackiness around here that I wasn't careful with. So, you know, when you get started on your own doing it, it's a blank canvas, sort of. So, hopefully you write better than I did. Too much ink came out at first, and, I mean, too much glue came out at first, so that kind of messed things up. So, okay, now, I'm not going to try to get any more off. I'm going to close this up. And you can see there's still gilding in here. So there you go. And again, that's not perfect, and that's not totally the correct way, but as far as doing it, that's what you have. So we're going to put this here on this card. I'm tempted, and I think I will. I have some tiny glue. I think I'll glue that down so that it doesn't look quite so bad. This will be a sample anyway. I don't think I'd give this to anyone at all, but you can see what it looks like as far as how to utilize this gilding in different ways. And this piece right here was some tape runner that, or Seal Plus that came up. Now see, I have some on my finger because, oh, and my nails. So it will stick to, I don't know if it's because they're shiny nails, But I do know that you can gild your nails with it. You can put it, you can put for 2 coats of polish on, you put on your second coat of polish while it's just barely not wet, but where it can kind of be touched. You can put your finger, you can put some gilding on one finger if you wanted to, and, you know, rub it off, and then it's on there, and then you can top coat over it. Just, I don't know if you knew that, but you can do that. So let's, I'm going to use the Seal Plus to put this on. Probably, oh, I forgot I have a dimensional or 2 here, so it's a different height. Do it this way. It'll be okay. It'll be all right. I love this seal, and it is so gummy. Nice and gummy. Okay. This stretches from end to end, horizontally. And then we could put some Wink of Stella on our little butterfly. You probably could have used a little darker reds in him. Butterfly. Okay, well, it's probably time to pack up and go to bed. It's a hummingbird. A hummingbird. I am no good any longer at multitasking. My train of thought stops, and that's just the way it is. No multitasking hardly anymore. So it's a good thing that I'm not working my old job, because that was a multitasking area. Okay, a little bit. And then we're going to put him here. And we're going to need something else. So, we have some ribbon that we got that came with, or that's with the suite, this particular suite. So let's just make a little bow and put that on. And this is the fine art ribbon. It's fine art. It's like a linen-y type thing. It's really soft and flexible. Easy to tie a bow. Kind of a neat little bow. But a big enough bow to... Okay, where are my ribbon scissors? I used them to cut that butterfly and this hummingbird. That was a no-no. Okay, let's flip it and cut it. And we'll get some glue dots and we'll put them on. And that was something. See, I have a piece of gilding here. That was something I had to order. I didn't realize I was working on my last glue dots. And I have 2 swaps to do, so I'm not sure what my plan was for glue dots, because I don't know if they'll be here in time. Okay, so let's put a little bow right here, and I think we'll utilize these again, maybe the bigger ones, just a couple here and there to add a little oomph to it. Okay, we'll do just 3. Oh, we better put him on. use the larger dimensionals for him this time, because one fits his head. Let me bring it up here for you to see. And one fits his tail, and I'm thinking one will fit here, and that'll mount him nicely. Okay, we're done with that. We're just going to put him down and over, and there again, that's not the best job of this area, but I guess I was doing it on the fly, and I thought, see, I can move him a little bit now too, I think. You don't want him to get off your cardstock. Okay, now there is no greeting or anything except the hi. So I would put some basic white cardstock in here, and I would stamp it. This says hi. Let's see what's on the stamp set with him. There's best wishes. Thank you so much. Thinking of you. That might be a good one. Hello, or hello friend. So that's it for now, and we're good with it. So thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll do it again soon. Bye-bye.